All right. Well, we are on the calm climb now. Again, it's pretty cagey between the riders. Interestingly, Chris McGlinchey and Madsen here do have 12 seconds already on this climb because they got on here before everybody else. So super interesting to see whether they're going to be able to hold this gap or not. I can't imagine someone like Lino Vusin letting that go, or Ollie Jones. Are they really going to let these guys get away on this section of the climb? Now these guys are just holding a pretty steady pace. They're putting out some big power, and Chris has decided that, yeah, I'm not just going to sit on Madsen's wheel. I'm going to do my own thing, and I'm going to go up this climb at my own pace. And if everybody else wants to, then they're going to have to chase me down. And he still has got a sizable gap to the riders behind him. Let's see. I mean, it's 10 seconds, so the gap has closed a little bit. These guys, again, putting out some serious power, but they're not putting in the big digs that maybe you would expect. See, everyone seems to be saving it for the final climb, up the volcano climb. Again, everyone seems to have pretty much stayed in with this group. Making it pretty cagey, I would say. Yeah, we've got most of the riders here still in there. So, fair play to Ostenfeld, who got the com there. Pretty impressive. Considering that the two riders up front managed to get on the climb before them, and they really put a dig in and held the gap. That's a great climb from New Ostenfeld. The pack's pretty much staying together. Madsen's going to bridge across. Yeah, I mean, Ollie Jones has gone off the front. So whilst we were busy talking, he went off the front, like very quiet, slipped off there without a word. McGlinchey again being very alert to what's been going on in this race. He's covered pretty much every move if he hasn't been making them himself. So that's pretty awesome to see, to be honest. But it's not a huge amount of time until we're going to be on the final climb. So the guys have gone over the Zwiftcom, and we pretty much get to the volcano com after, in the stage is 30 kilometers. I guess it's going to be around about 31 kilometers for these riders, because I believe they have an extra kilometer stuck on to the beginning. It might be an extra 3.6 to be honest. When I was putting this level together, I'm not sure how I calculate. So it's either going to be 31 kilometers, but I think it might be 33.4 kilometers till we get on the base of the climb, which would put it at about just under 10 kilometers to go, basically. But everyone's pretty much, again, managed to stick together, keeping it pretty chilled. And again, but I imagine the fireworks are going to basically, the matches are going to be lit when we got on the volcano com. All right. Yeah, McGlinchey is the guy who is right at the front, pushing things on. And he's also got his teammate Walker, who's putting out some orange numbers. You reckon these guys are on Discord still chatting to each other, saying, you go attack up the road, I'll sit in. And you then taking it in turns. Quite interesting. So, you know, they started off with 3 riders, and they're down to 2 riders now, but they still seem to be using their resources pretty well here, which is pretty good to see. You know, it's the same thing happened for Lino and Ollie. Aiden had a slight issue at the beginning and didn't manage to stay in the front group. So here we are. It's really strung out here. But I think, you know, it's likely to all just come back together before we get on the final climb of the day, which will be the volcano climb. And here, Push is waiting again for the riders behind. Sensible riding. So, you know, as I say, we have these guys in the Wahoo kit, and they are from our... In this race, they're racing as the Canyon Misfits, but they are made up of guys who have applied to be in the Canyon e-racing development team. And so we had a few places open. We figured we'll make a team, we'll invite some of the riders down, and then they can, you know, race against you know, some of the biggest riders in the scene, and just see how they get on. And so far, so good. They've been doing a pretty good job. Great to see. At the moment, they almost outnumber the other teams. It's hard to make out the Ivot riders and the Fusion riders. They've got very similar jerseys now that they are put side to side. So interestingly, what are the Misfits going to do? They've got this great opportunity to be riding and against all of these guys, and they are outnumbering everyone. So the only thing is, I would say they are unlikely. So they're heading towards the volcano now, the final climb. They're unlikely to be on Discord and chatting to one another. So they won't have that option, but you know, they're going to be able to watch each other and see what each other does. And yeah, at the end of the day, there is a team. There's team points on offer, and a lot of pride. Again, nobody is really wanting to push on too soon. Although, again, we've got Lino Viersen and Walker here, who snuck off the front again, and they've got nearly 20 seconds back to the main group. From right, again, some of these times are a little bit off here. Rorstad's with the main group, and looks like they actually have about 10 seconds, I think. So, again, times in the meetup view are a bit weird. So, we will get race results. So the times are probably going to be wrong. I have no idea why. Ask Swift why the times are always wrong. But the finishing order will be correct, which is all that matters. So there's points for the top 10 riders in all of these races, and so the actual time is irrelevant. It's all about where you place in these races. So we don't have to worry too much with regards to yeah. Breathe. Drop. In order for the stream to stay up, I just dropped. If the quality of the stream will stay up, see if I improve the quality of the stream and it still stays up. Ah, exciting. Yeah, so all right, so we're nearly on the final climb. So I guess the interesting part about this is that we're not going to know exactly where the finish line is. The riders are going to have to play it completely by ear. So stay in this level that we have picked, which is Bigfoot Hills. We have basically cut the level in half so we could finish early and finish on the volcano com. But it's not possible to just say, oh, finish right at the top. You have to pick a distance, and that's where the finish line will be. And the riders will see it with a they'll see it because there'll be a little blue barrier on their screen. So, and we won't be able to see it on this live stream, but I will be able to tell you when they are coming up to it fairly accurately, I would say. So, but you see this front group here, they have about just under 4 kilometers left to go now, probably about 3.2, and yeah, they're gonna have to judge precisely where that finish line is gonna be. And I can already see that some of the riders behind, so Delu and Chris McGlinchley, they're chatting to one another, talking about what it is that they're going to do. How are they going to bring this gap back? Because this is a really serious gap that they've got now, these two riders. And this group, they're not really pushing on. They're not desperately trying to close it just yet. I mean, it's still 16 seconds by the looks of things. But there, I'd say, you could argue they're a little bit disorganized here, or maybe they are just biding their time until they get onto the climb proper, and then the fireworks are going to be lit up. It's unlike Ollie Jones to be sitting in, but he knows that his teammate Lena Vuisen is up the road, and they now have less than 3 kilometers at the front of the race. So, to be honest, they're running out of tarmac to finish this race off. And they'll be able to see how far they've got left in the race to go. But maybe in their minds they're thinking, it's specifically going to be at the top of the climb, but I'm not sure. Finish line might come before the top, looking at the distance counters. But to be honest, I think it seems very unlikely that yeah, so the finish line definitely looks like it's going to come before the top. So it's going to be a slightly shortened version of the climb. So probably it's going to be about 1 kilometer short. So the riders are going to have to really decide what to do now. John Mould has had enough waiting. He's dropped his aero power. He's going to try and bridge across to these riders now. I think he's just realized that there is not enough tarmac to just sit in. And he's going to have to go for this one. And he's got the riders in sight. He's closed them down pretty quickly. So they're about 6 seconds away. But Lino is not going to let Walker just sit on his wheel. He is putting in some serious watts now. And he has about just under 2 kilometers left to go. Ollie Jones now. He's the next one to go. He's pumping out 8 watts per kilograms. Velez also trying to jump across to him. Now it is every man for himself, pretty much. It looks like John Mould is done. Ollie Jones is going to go past him. Now it's Ollie to see whether he can bridge across. He's still got 8 seconds. And again, there's probably just not enough tarmac for him to at least catch his teammate. But he is closing in on Walker here. And Chris McGlinchley again. We hadn't seen him in frame for a while, but he is he's going to swing past Ollie here. Ollie's probably going to jump on his wheel here and try and get on him. But again, not going to want to do all the work to get over to Lionel Vuursen, who now is a pretty commanding lead, I would say. Doesn't look like it doesn't look like Walker is going to catch up to him, but there's only a second in it according to this. Serious tug of war here. And he's still got 3 seconds here. Ollie Jones again. Ollie Jones is not putting out the same sort of power as Lino is at the front, but again, he doesn't want to do all of the work. Chris McGlinchley does not look like he wants to chase his teammate either. So really interesting to have the 1-2, 1-2. Ah, but he's dropped his draft power up and he wants to go now. And Lionel's dropped his aero power up. He didn't need a feather. He's dropped his aero. And it looks like he's going to walk away with this one all to himself, to be honest. And he has now crossed the line. And it looks like Joey Walker is going to be the next one. He's crossed the line. Chris McGlinchley is going to come across in 3rd. Ollie Jones in 4th. And then the other rider's going to make it across. So, finish line there. Finishing up just a little bit earlier than the top. And so, as I can confirm, Lionel Vuursen comes out in 1st. Walker in 2nd. Chris McGlinchley in 3rd. Melez from the Canyon Misfits in 4th. Hansen in 5th. Drugman 6th. Volk going to end up in 7th. And Rostad from the Misfits will be there in 8th. And Ollie Jones finishing up there in 10th. So, great work by the Canyon Misfits there to do such a solid job in making it into the top 10 against some pretty stiff competition. So interesting for the finish line to finish a little bit earlier than anticipated, than the riders would normally be used to. And I think that meant that they had to kind of tack a little bit sooner than they normally would do. Again, it's very, very different. Now, some of the other levels, the other rounds that we'll be doing, they'll be straightforward. We won't be trying to move around the finish line. So it will finish under the normal banners and will be a little bit easier to judge the finish. But we do like to try and experiment just to see how things work out. And that was pretty interesting. So yeah, great riding, everyone. Thanks for everyone who came and watched. Apologies for the stream dropping out. We will publish the full results on our website and undoubtedly on our Instagram, so you can see where the team standings are. So it's mainly around the teams. It looks like the Canyon Misfits might have got enough points there to go into the lead after round 1. So we'll do a quick calculation and we'll publish the results as soon as we can. And yeah, so thanks a lot for everyone who tuned in to watch. It was super interesting, even with the slight technical difficulties. I think it went pretty well. As far as the racing went, it was pretty good. So that's me. Thanks a lot for joining. Have a good evening.